What's up everybody? Now, as I've promised and as I've said before, we are going to be bringing as much as we can to improve your cricket game. Now that's not just going to be technical, working on your batting, bowling and fielding, it's also going to be nutrition and S&C. And what we've got for you today is something that I found very, very hard.
I'll tell you what, my legs are like wobbling from like what I've been doing. Like, yeah, it'll be on there. They're going.
Pilates is super, super hard. I think in the past people think it is just for girls, a bit of yoga, a bit of stretching.
It looks like such a small move, but it's quite painful.
Now I think I'm decent at S&C, I do it at Lancs, I'm pretty high up in the ranks, but this was so hard. So I challenge you to give it a go. We're with Louise Buttler, Jos Buttlers' wife, so she knows a thing or two about training England players, so I think you should give it a go as well. Come with me, let's go. What's up everybody and welcome back to the Rule of 100. If you remember, that is 100 hours throughout a year, 18 minutes a day to be better than 95% of the world. Now remember, we're going to be working with pro cricketers, pro coaches, but today we're with Louise Buttler, Pilates instructor. And if Louise, you want to introduce yourself?
Thanks so much, Jackson, for inviting me. Hi guys, I'm Louise Buttler. I'm Jos Butler's wife. There is the cricket connection. I do own a Pilates business, LiveBrave, and I'm going to take Jackson through some moves, which is going to help him hopefully with his cricket performance.
Okay, so we're going to be going through three things. We're going to do a warm-up and an activation, then we're going to do a full proper workout and then go through a cool down.
So I'm often on the side of the cricket pitch watching Jos, and I can see them doing their warm-ups or their cool-downs, and I realise that most of their exercises they're doing in their strength and conditioning is actually all Pilates moves. So I'm about to take Jackson through a 15-minute session, and I challenge you to tell me afterwards whether you think that Pilates is just for girls. Okay, Jackson, so come and lie on your back. Bend your knees and bring your arms down by your sides and just pop your head down. Bring your feet a little bit close towards your bum and then come up onto the balls of your feet, so lift up your heels. So what we've got is your knees a couple of inches apart, your big thigh bones coming out of your pelvis, and what we want is a neutral pelvis. So that means that there's a little bit of a gap between the mat and your lower back, so just like that. Good. So what instantly happens is your rib cage starts flaring out. I just want you to breathe in, and then I want you to just breathe out and just let your rib cage just sink down. Perfect. Good. Okay, so we're going to start with some bridging, which is going to mobilize your spine, start waking up all the muscles in the body. So take a breath in here, and first of all, just breathe out without moving. Perfect. Once more, take a nice deep breath in. Good. Just filling up the rib cage with air and then just breathing out. Perfect. Okay, on the next one, we're going to move. So you're going to breathe in here. And then as you breathe out, I want you to stand into the balls of your feet and just allow your pelvis to float up. And you're reaching your knees over your toes. Good. So what you're trying to do is getting your knees higher than your hip bones higher than your rib cage, your shoulder. Good. So we're in this long diagonal. Good. Take a breath in here. And then breathe out and just come down through your spine. So upper back, middle back, finally your lower back, and just allow your pelvis just to go forward again. So you find that arch in your lower back again. So breathe in here, breathe out, stand into the feet, good. Start tilting the pelvis, good. Reaching, just feeling like your pelvis is just floating up and you're just reaching your knees over your toes. Good. Take a nice deep breath in here. Breathe out, start coming down through your spine. Perfect. So while Jackson does this, it's really nice to do this about 10 times. So just keep coming up and down. And the reason that I've got him on the balls of his feet as well is it's starting to really activate his calf. So keep coming up, reaching your knees over your toes and coming down. So what we're doing is we're mobilizing the spine by doing this bridging. We're starting to activate the glutes, the hamstrings for running, for power, and we're just starting to rebalance the body. So he's having to think about having equal length down the side of the body, keeping his pelvis balanced, aligned. Good. And everything's starting to wake up. So on the next one, you're going to come up. Good. So you're standing into your feet. You're feeling like your pelvis is just nice and light. And then your weight is going to shift into this left foot. And you're going to allow your right knee to float up so it comes above the pelvis. And what he's doing is keeping his body as still as possible. So it's going to challenge his glutes, his hamstrings, his back. He's going to extend his leg. And what I want you to do is flex and point your toe. We're going to do this 3 times. Flex. So you're starting to feel this length through the hamstring. Good. Flex and point. Good. Now keep reaching with this leg. So instantly this hip bone might want to start sinking down. So keep lifted through this hip bone. And you're going to lower and lift your hips. Good. Just lower and lift. Good. Keeping that leg reaching up. Keeping the leg lifted. Yep, reaching. Good. Now bend through the knee. And then put the foot down. Good. So keep lifted through. Is that feeling quite like strong? Okay, so what we're doing is he's still on the balls of your feet. If that's too much, you can put your heels down, but I'm challenging him a little bit because I'm wanting him to wake up his calves. So you can always bring your feet a little bit closer towards you. Do you want to come down again? Okay, let's do the movement again. So take a nice deep breath in here. Breathe out, stand into the feet. Good, allow the pelvis to lift up. Good. Stand into this left foot. Allow that right knee to float up. Good. Now extend the leg. Good. You're going to flex and point. Flex again. Flex and point. Good. Now you're going to lower and lift the hips. Good. Keeping your leg lifted. Yep. Good. Now bend the knee and then pop the foot down. Good. And then come down through your spine. Let's do the other side. Really nice. So bring your feet a little bit closer to your bum. Good. And again, so nice deep breath in here. Breathe out. Good. Stand into the feet. Allow the pelvis to float up. The knees are reaching over the toes. Stand into the right leg. Good. Now the left knee floats up above the hip. Beautiful. Extend through the leg. Good. You're going to point and flex the foot. So he's getting some hamstring length. He's testing his balance. He's testing his core strength. Okay, so point your toe. Keep reaching through your toe. And now you're going to lower and lift your hips. Good. See if you can do 3. 1. Inhale down, exhale up. 2. Perfect. Inhale, exhale. Good. Bend through the knee. And then pop that foot down. And then come down through your spine. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do once more on this right leg, okay? So the whole thing is it's quite a slow, controlled movement. It's all about precision because we're trying to activate all those small little muscles, okay? So bring those feet close towards your bum. Come onto the balls of your feet. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Start to tilt your pelvis towards you. Good. Hips float up. So you're standing into that right foot now, and that left knee is going to come above the hip. Good. Extend through the leg. Yep. Flex and point. We're going to do this 3 times. Flex and point. Last time. Flex and point. Keep pointing here. Keep those hips level, and you're going to lower and lift them for 3 times. So inhale down, exhale. Think of that power. So if you think about it when you're on the cricket pitch and you suddenly have to run, it's thinking of that power. So lower and lift the hips. Inhale, exhale, up. Perfect. Last time. Good. Now readjust your body so everything is aligned, so hip bones are level. Good, then bend through the knee, pop the foot down. Perfect, keep those hips lifted, keep the heels lifted. Beautiful, reach those arms up, take them back behind your head. Good, this is going to be a nice stretch for your spine, so take a nice deep breath in here. And then exhale, come down through your spine. So try and find each vertebra at a time coming down onto the mat, through your upper spine, middle spine, finally lower spine, heels can go down. Good, reach your arms up and then bring them down. Reach the front of your knees, pull your knees towards your chest and just, yeah, all good? So by doing bridges, I don't know, you could do 5 on each side of your legs. You can vary it. So sometimes you could just do straight legs. You could do legs just in a bent leg. But by doing anything where you're lowering and lifting and you're also coming up through your spine, it's a great way of waking up the whole of your posterior chain. So the whole of your back, your lower, your glutes, and your legs. So come onto your side, bend your elbow, rest your head on your arm. We've got your underneath leg bent. And then what we're trying to do is get as much length through your body. So your top hip bone wants to be stacked above your bottom hip bone. What can happen is that this hip bone can come up towards your armpit, but we want to be pushing it so you're nice and long. And then this hand is going to support you, so it's in front of your belly button. So what we're trying to do is slide a hand between your lower rib cage bones and your pelvis. Can you feel that? So it's very easy to collapse. Can you feel that? But in cricket, you are using your obliques all the time because you're throwing, you're batting, you're rotating all the time. So we've got to keep our side body really strong. So just being aware of being lifted through the side, already those obliques are having to work hard. Okay, so we're going to just allow this leg to float up. Good. You're going to start to pull it back towards me, and you can point your toe a little bit as you, so by opening up the ankle joint, it's going to open up the hip joint, and then you're going to flex the foot to pull it forward. So now what we're doing is a little bit of hip mobility, so point to come back. So we're opening up the hip, we're finding this length through the front of the hip flexors, and then we're flexing to come forward. So by doing this, you're going to start activating this glute. I want you to try and relax your head a little bit. I know there's a lot to think about. So come back and then come forward. Good. So again, hip mobility is really important in cricket because again, you're having to change direction a lot, and you are also prone to, injury when your hips aren't mobile. So by keeping them nice and mobile, it's going to prevent you from injury. So let's now bring them back. Okay, so now you're going to flex the foot. Now we're going to try and switch on this glute med. Okay, this can be quite a lazy muscle, and I want you just to float it up and down. So you're going to do a little pulse for me. Okay, let's try and relax that body. Little pulse. So we're still in a little bit of hip extension, so pull it back a bit. Okay, we're going to do 10 little pulses. 10, 9. You feeling that glute? 8. Good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it there. Good. Then bend the knee and then place it on top of that knee. Good. So again, it's easy to start sinking. So be really aware of those obliques working, okay? And just try and relax this top shoulder. Now I want you to leave your knees on the mat, and I want you to allow your feet to float up to the sky. Good. So now you're going to keep your heels together, and you're going to open up your toes. Yeah. And then start reaching your top knee up to the sky, so you're coming into a clam. Yeah, so keep those knees, the heels glued together. Yeah, again, and then closing the knee. Yeah, and again, so opening and closing. So a big thing in Pilates is because there's a lot to think about, you sometimes forget to breathe. So I want you to make sure that you're still breathing. And I want you to see if you can stay quite soft in your face. So you might notice that you might be starting to grip in your jaw or around your head, or I don't know, in your eyes. I just want you to soften, and I just want your shoulders just to relax as well. Good. So you had a nice click there in your hip, which is really good for releasing the hip. So sometimes to really get more of this mobility, you can think about your foot turning a bit like it's turning around a clock. Yeah, nice. And then it's coming back, but trying to keep that top hip stacked on the bottom hip. Good. Once more. Beautiful. And then closing that down. Good. And those feet can go down, and you're done. Really nice. So we've got to do the other side now. Yeah. To rebalance. So same again. So underneath leg is bent, top leg is out long, and Your head is resting down on your arm. Good. This top hip bone is away. We're lifted in the waist. This hand can support you in the front, and then I just want you to relax in the shoulder. Really nice. So we're going to start at hip height, okay? And then we're going to start pulling your leg back. So really concentrate on this move. So you're pointing your foot to bring it back. So you're opening up the ankle socket, and then you're allowing the leg to float forward. So it's a bit like a pendulum. So you can do it on your own. So you bring it back to get that hip extension still lifted, and then pulling it forward. Good. And then we're trying to keep it at hip height all the time. So again, you're also activating the glutes, but working a little bit of a different part. So instead of, I know that your glute maximus, you're actually working into the glute med, which is this side muscle, which again can be quite sleepy at times. Okay, so flexing to come forward, and then you're going to bring it back, and then you're going to stay in that hip extension. So bring it back a little bit. Good. Flex the foot. So come the other way. Good. And we're going to do a little bounce. So keep reaching through that heel. Keep reaching and breathing. You're feeling it in the glute. And all the while, he's challenging his whole core. So by challenging the stability in his pelvis, so his pelvis needs to be really strong for cricket, because your pelvis, that's where your legs come off, that's where your torso comes off. So if you keep all your pelvic area strong and stable, then everything's going to work at its best, and you're going to prevent injury. Good. Last time. And then you can bend the knee and come in. Beautiful. Really nice. Let's start doing those clams. So just reset, just make sure you're lifted in the side. Good, nice and relaxed through the shoulder. Okay, so knees stay on the mat, and then allow your feet to float up towards the sky. So let's allow them, so let's even give them a bit more space. So allow the feet to float up first. Good, keep the heels together. And now start opening up. Beautiful. And then closing. Nice. So you could always do this a little bit differently. If you're feeling a little bit stiff, you could just go halfway and then come back. But I think doing 10 reps of all of these on each side is a really good way just to open your hips up and get you ready for your session. Last time. Good. Close it down, and then your feet can drop down. Really nice. Beautiful. Okay, and then finally, we want to add a little bit of rotation. So you're going to come onto your front, and we're going to pop our right foot forward, and all 5 toes reaching forward. And we're just going to slide forward so that you feel this stretch in the front of your left thigh. Good. And you're going to pop your left fingertips down, and then you're going to reach that right arm up. So we're getting this opening in the side body. Good. And then you're going to pop that right fingers down, and then inhale and exhale and reach the right arm up. Good. Looking around as well. And that left hand can go down. Beautiful. And then just sit back a little bit. Give that right hamstring a little bit of a love. So your bum shifts back towards your heel. You can just allow that foot to pull up towards your hip. You feel that? Yeah. Good. And then let's switch sides. So the left foot can go forward. And again, we're going to drop down. So you feel that stretch in the front of the right hip. Good. Right fingertips can go down. Inhale, exhale to reach the left arm up. Get that mobility in the upper spine. And then left fingertips can go down, and then right arm reaches up. Nice. And then come down. Good job. And then just sit back towards your heel. Give that left foot and that left leg a little bit of a stretch. Perfect. Really nice. Good. And then if you do have extra time, like obviously an activation session is going to be 10-15 minutes, but a big thing that you want is your whole posterior chain to be ready to work. So instead of doing a plank, a front plank, in Pilates we often do a reverse plank. So if you put your hands underneath your shoulders, so this is going to wake up all your shoulders as well, your whole of your back, your glutes, and just let your pelvis just float up. And then you just do a simple leg pull. So just pull that leg up and then the alternate leg. Good, trying to keep your hip bones level. So what you'll find is if you stand into your right heel now, your left leg will float up. We're going to do 2 more on each side. So stand into the left heel, right leg floats up, stand into the right heel, left leg floats up. Good, we're going to do this once more. Good, this is a test that physios will often do with sportsmen because this shows whether their body is strong enough to do professional sport. We are done. Okay, so we're going to take you through a 15-20 minute session. Okay, we're going to start standing with our right foot forward and our left foot back. So take your left foot relatively far back and just check that all 10 toes are reaching forward and you're lifting up your left heel, so you're in a kind of lunge position. Good, so I'm going to get you into a perfect lunge position first of all. So your knee is directly above your heel. Good, keep that back leg completely straight. Yeah, and I want you to really stand deeply into your right heel, okay? And then we're going to lean forward a little bit. So we're hinging at the hips and then we're going to come up into a vertical position. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to switch on the right glute. So the bone in your right bum, I want you to think about. So you're just leaning forward and then coming up. Beautiful. So keep pressing out through the back of that left knee. So you've got this nice straight left leg. And we're just trying to find that right glute. Tell me when you start to feel it. If you're not feeling it, stick your bum out a little bit and create a little bit more of an arch in your lower back. So what I mean by that is so create a little bit more of an arch. So you see in my back, if we tuck, can you see by arching a little bit? Yeah, so you find a little bit more length through the spine. You feel it a bit more? Yeah, okay, so stand deeply into that right heel. You could even come a little bit lower, so bend through the knee a little bit. Good. Okay, come up. Now we're going to come all the way forward. Then you're going to come halfway. Okay. Now I want you to come onto the ball of that right foot. Good, and then press that right heel down. So a lot of the time in cricket, you're off balance. So it's important to be starting to challenge your body to do things where we're a bit unstable. So lifting the heel up and then pressing down. Now you're going to lift the heel up. Good. And then I want you to do a little bend through that right knee and then press up. Good. Little bend. Keep that heel lifted and press up. Good. Really nice. So you'll feel a little bit of trembling, feel a little bit unstable. That's because all your little stabilizing muscles are having to work now. So we're going to do 3, 2, 1. Good, press that heel down. Good, now you're going to come halfway down with that left knee. So the heel is now down, okay? A little bit forward, so a little hinge. Stick the bum out a little bit, stand deeply into that right heel. So that right glute should be activated. We're going to bounce here for 10, 9. Relax through the shoulders, breathe. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up.
There we go. Bit tense in the left.
Okay, so we're going to stay on the right foot again, but we're going to add a little bit of rotation. So if you think about it, often when you're batting, you're having to rotate, or if you're wicket keeping, you might be off balance, and then you have to, I don't know, dive to one side. You're the cricket man. But come back into your lunge. So We're gonna get those hip bones straight. Good, equal length down each side of the body. So bend through that right knee. We're gonna come forward into that diagonal like we were, lift up the heel. So we're now testing our balance. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna reach our arms so they come up in line with our shoulders. Good. And we're gonna take our left arm and look round to the left and then bring it forward. Good, and again, so reaching round. Sorry, I'm in the way. And then coming back. Good, and again, reaching and forward. Last time, take it round. Good, hold here. Good, so if you can just reach that right arm up and down. So you're looking at your left fingers and your right arm is going up and down. So you're challenging your obliques, your torso and your legs. Good, that left arm can come forward. You can press the heel down and you can come up. Oh yeah. Good job. Okay, we're gonna do the other side. So left foot's gonna come forward, right leg's back. So getting into that perfect position. So all 10 toes are reaching forward, both hip bones forward, left knee above the left heel. So standing into that left heel bone. Good, we're gonna start with just leaning forward. So now what we're trying to do is we're trying to activate the left bum. So you might feel like quite quick, like I've already switched mine on. But if you're not switching it on, stand deeper into the left heel, stick your bum out a little bit more, and think of that length through your whole spine. So leaning. Have you got it? Nice. Good, let's do 2 more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Come halfway forward. Nice, come onto the ball of that left foot. Good, and press the heel down. And again, lifting up and pressing down. Good, relax the shoulders, lift up, press down. So we're challenging the calf, so staying here now. Good, keeping that left heel lifted. We're gonna bend and extend through that back leg. Good, so the left knee stays in exactly the same place. Good, we're gonna do 3 more. So bending, really think about extending, so pressing out through the back of that right knee. Good, last time. Going down, coming up. Good, press that left heel down. Good, bend through that right knee. So we're in 2 right angles through the knees. I'm gonna do a little bounce here. Good, relax the shoulders, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come up. Oh yeah. Okay, we're now gonna add the rotation. So left foot comes forward, right leg back, coming into that start position, hip bones are forward, left knee bent, right leg long, and coming up onto the ball of the left foot. Okay, so straight away, you're challenging the balance. Let's allow the arms to come up. So balance, doing anything balance related in cricket is really, really good. So now take that right arm back. Keep reaching forward with the left arm, but look over the right arm. So often you might be on one foot in cricket, or you might be a little bit, you might be just on part of your foot in cricket and having to throw a ball or catch a ball. Nice, okay, so now you're gonna reach around with that right arm. Good, keep looking at the right fingertips and then allow that left arm to float up and down for 5, 4, everything's shaking, 3, 2, 1. Good, bring that right arm round and come up. And give this bum a little pat. Good, really good. Okay, before we go down onto the mat, we're also going to do a bit of lateral work. So, all 10 toes are going to reaching forward. I want you to imagine sitting into a little chair. Okay, weight shifts into the left foot, so into the left heel, a little bit into the left side of the foot. So what happens a lot of the time is we collapse into our feet. So I want you to think about being lifted through your arch. So that lift through the left arch, you're gonna sit into the chair. Okay, and we're gonna tap the right toe in and out for 10. The weight is back into the left heel. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now you're going to take that right leg back behind you into a curtsy lunge. Stand up and tap it out to the right. A little bit of dance class for you. And then out to the right. Okay. So all along as well, you start thinking about your core being strong. So even though we're working a lot into the legs and the glutes, this upper core is also keeping you nice and stable. Good. And again, you're doing a lot laterally in cricket when you're having to reach for things. Lots of catching and moving from left to right. Good, we're gonna do last one. So come back, you're gonna come down, we're gonna do a little pulse here. Little pulse, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come up. But a little pet. You'll be like, oh, I won't go to the gym anymore, I'll just come to Louise Pilates studio. Okay, come onto the other side now. So all 10 toes facing forward. So into your little chair. So naturally you sit down, shoulders start to lift, just drop them down. Good, bring your weight now back into both heels. Now into the side of your right foot and the back of your right foot. And then be really light through your left toes, and we're gonna tap it in and out. Also, you can put your fingertips on your hip bones and notice if your hip bones start to shift. Can you keep them level? So the whole thing of Pilates is trying to rebalance the body. So our body over time, especially in cricket, when you're throwing, batting, one side of the body can get a little bit more lengthened, the other side could get shortened. So we're trying to make each side the same length. So it's really important to make sure your body is always straight. Good, now let's take that leg back behind into the curtsy. Stand up, bring it out to the side. Good. So when we're not in balance, so when our body gets misaligned, that's when you're prone to injury. So it might be a bit boring, making every movement really precise, but that is how you're gonna prevent injury. Okay, on the next one, you're gonna come down, and we're gonna do our little dance move, little bounce for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up. Get those legs a little bit. Come and just stand at the end of your mat. Take a nice deep breath in. I want you to be a bit soft through the knees, so just let them, wiggle them out a bit. Take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, just allow your face to just nod forward. We're gonna go into a roll down. So the first one, you're just gonna come halfway down. So your arms, I want them to be really floppy. Good, I want the weight to come into the balls of the feet. So forward a little bit. I want you to take a nice deep breath in here. So when I say that, I mean to literally extend your whole rib cage. So feel like your rib cage is expanding. And then I want you to breathe out. I want you to stand into the feet, send the energy up through your legs, through your pelvis. Restack the spine so you're really tall. Let's do that again. So nice deep breath in. Breathe out. Allow your face to peel. So this is great for mobility, finding that length through the spine, through the backs of the legs. See if you can come a little bit lower this time. Notice the change you get in the length of your legs and your spine by just bringing your chin towards your chest. It makes it a little bit more painful. Okay, weight into the balls of the feet. You're going to bend your knees a little bit. Feel that length through your spine, and then start walking your hands out so that they come under your shoulders. So we're in this high plank position. Okay, so it's very easy to sink down between the shoulders. We want to be really strong through our shoulder girdle, especially for throwing and for bowling. Good, lower abs gently pulling in and up. And we're gonna tap our knees down. So you're kind of doing a bounce, you're sort of going backwards. So you're using the heels of the hands. You see how the top of my body, it's a bit like I'm pouncing. So you kind of go back. Yes, nice. We're gonna do 5. I'm quite warm now. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, come into that high plank position. Good, you're gonna swivel your feet to the front of the mat, stand into your right hand and reach that left hand up to the sky. Good, then that left hand's gonna go down. You're gonna swivel the feet to the back of the mat, reach the right arm up. Good, right hand can go down, swivel and reach. Good, and again, left hand down, swivel and reach. So with this, we're getting mobility through our upper spine, but also having to work through that stability and strength of our shoulders for the throwing and bowling. Good, last time. Right hand can come down, left knee can come down, right knee can come down. Just sit back on the heels, take your knees wide, heels together, reach your fingertips forward. Good, take a nice deep breath into the body and breathe out. Good, and again, nice deep breath in and breathe out. Perfect. Walk your hands back towards you. Good, give your shoulders a nice little roll. And I want you to tuck your toes under, hug your knees. Feel like you're just pulling your shoulder blades around the back of your rib cage. Good. And then fingertips can go down. Send your heels down, start to lengthen through the legs. Take a nice deep breath in here. And then you're going to breathe out and you're going to roll all the way back up. Beautiful. Give your knees a little wiggle. Good. Take a nice deep breath in. Lift your shoulders to your ears. Take them round and down the back of the rib cage. And again, inhale to lift them up. Exhale, round and down. This time, inhale, lift them up. Give them a really good squeeze. And drop. Nailed it. Okay, Jackson, should we go into a warm down? So just come down onto your mat. This might be, you might have literally just finished a game. You might be feeling a little bit stiff around the hips. So if you come into, just so that your legs are in a zigzag position. So, and then arms are just going to be behind you, just nice and comfortable. So you might also, your heart rate still might be up at this point. Have you ever done this before? I'm like baffled. This is like one of the like most like best things for your hips when you're I'm baffled that you haven't done. Okay, bring your feet out wider and then just allow one knee to rotate in and then your other knee to drop out. Good. And then just allow your knees to just rotate the other way. What you're doing here, can you see your bones are spiraling in and out, so you're getting some internal rotation and external rotation. Now can you see if you can even keep your bum, so you know how you're lifting loads, see if you can increase the range of movement by trying to bring the bones in your bum down onto the mat so they're hardly moving and it's just your legs. Yeah, it's quite nice. Good. Really nice. Just do it once more to each side. So this is a really nice way to release your hips after a session and also just give your hamstrings, your glutes a little bit of a massage. Good. Now you're going to bring your, okay, obviously it's hard when you're in front of me, so bring your left leg around in front of you. Good. And then you're going to bend your right leg behind you. So we call this a zigzag position in Pilates. But by having your knees level, so you see how that knee has dropped back, that's going to help organize your pelvis. So I want you to sit up nice and tall. Arms are going to be down by your sides, and I want you to take a nice deep breath in, and I want you to reach your right arm up, and then exhale to take it up and over. So what we're doing here is we're not rotating at all, but we're trying to find loads of space in this side body. So you will have worked your side body incredibly hard, okay? So breathe in, sit up straight, and then exhale to go up and over into the other side. Okay, so as you're in this position, I want you to breathe into this side of your rib cage. Can you feel it stretch? And then breathe out. So your intercostal muscles will have worked hard. So take a nice deep breath into this left side and breathe out. Good, now I want you to breathe in. I want you to sit up and come down. Now you can go a little bit more fluid, so you can literally, a bit like you're swaying from side to side. So you're going up and over. And what you're trying to find is just creating as much space in that side body. Good. Really nice. Come on over. Okay, now as you take that left hand down, I want you to place it on the floor behind you, and I want you to stand into your knees and send your hips forward. So now, can you feel this stretch in the front of your right hip? Good, and you're going to take that right arm up and take it up and over, even behind you. So you're kind of reaching in that diagonal. So you're still reaching your hip bone forward. Good. So again, the front of your quads, so all your hip flexors have worked really hard, so you're just opening it up. Good, and then come back down. Nice, good. Now let's change your legs. So your right leg is going to go round in front. Try and get your knees in line. Perfect. So sitting as tall as possible. So what you're trying to do is, you see how your left hip bone wants to lift. See if you can keep it relatively heavy. Good, sit up nice and tall. And we're going to start with just allowing that left arm to reach up and over. Good, and then the other side. So inhale, reaching right arm up and over. Good, and again, so reaching up, take it over. Okay, I want you to really stretch. I want you to feel like this whole side. Can you feel even your hip opening there as well? Good. Inhale, reach up. So now really sit up tall. Sit up really tall as you do that. And then take that right arm up and over. Good. Now I want you to breathe. Really deep breath into here. And breathe out. Good. Inhale, reach that right arm up. And then come down. Now you're going to send that right hand up. And then you're going to stand into your knees. And then send your hips forward. Good. Does that feel like relatively comfortable? If you bring that foot back a bit. Good. Keep driving that forward. Yeah. Good. Keep driving those hips forward. Think about that length through the front of the left thigh. So you're sending your left knee down away from the left hip. Beautiful. And then come down again. Good. So I often say to clients, or anyone who's doing Pilates, or any sportsman, that by freeing up your rib cage, so a lot of the breathing, so by stretching out your rib cage and imagining it as an accordion, your rib cage attaches to most of your spine. So if you can keep your rib cage really mobile, so everything we've just done has been freeing your rib cage, that's going to really free you up for tomorrow, or when you come back out onto the pitch for another session. If you've freed up the rib cage, that is going to really help you free yourself up for your throwing, for your batting, for your wicket keeping when you're going to have to jump. Jump from side to side. I should know more, the fact that Jos plays cricket. Right, you're now going to come onto all fours, and hands are underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. I want you to breathe in here, and I just want you to allow your chest to come forward. So you're in like a happy cat, yeah. And then you're going to breathe in here. And then you're going to breathe out, and you're going to start the movement from your pelvis. So you're going to tuck your pelvis under first, yeah. Then you're going to start to round through the spine. So you're coming into an angry cat. Angry cat. Bring your chin towards your chest, press out through your hands. Good, good. And then I want you to really feel like your shoulder blades moving around the side of the rib cage. Good. Breathe in here, and then start lengthening, and then exhale. Good. Now stick out your bum a little bit. Good. Good. And again, breathe in here. Breathe out. Start the movement from the pelvis so that your lowest part of your spine is going to tuck under, then come up through your spine. Yeah. So we're getting through that mobility. Mobility. Good. Chin towards your chest. Keep pressing out through the hands. Good. Breathe in here. And then breathe out. Lengthen, 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 lengthen. Good. Really nice. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Perfect. So what can happen over time as well we can get quite stiff through different parts of our spine. So by doing cat and cow stretches, which might seem quite boring, you can start coming back the other way. You're actually mobilizing each part of your spine. So by starting the movement down in your lower back and then coming up through your upper back, it's a really good way of releasing. Really nice. Good. Okay, stand into your right hand now, and I just want you to reach your left arm up to the sky. Good. And then you're going to thread your left fingers underneath your right arm. So you're reaching, and then you're coming under. So you might do this in cricket already. Yeah. And you can think about your left ear dropping down to the mat. It's it's a favorite for everyone because it's so good for releasing that upper spine. Good, and then the other side, so nice deep breath in. And then exhale. Shh. Good. And again, let's do a couple more on this side. Really nice. Good, and then just come back, so we're on all fours. And then just to finish, I want you to slide your right foot away from you. And then I want you to tuck your toes under. And I want you to press out through that heel, so you feel a little bit of a stretch through the calf. Good. Keep stretching, keep stretching. Nice. Now, you're gonna just do a little bounce forward and back. So again, because our muscles are tired, it might be the day after, they might be feeling a little bit stiff. You want to lengthen them, but gradually. So this is just a really nice way of just releasing the hamstring and the calf. Good, bring that left knee in. And then we're gonna slide the right toes back. And again, just do a little pulse, little bounce through the right heel. And then bring that right leg out in front. Do you do a pigeon stretch? Yeah, slide back into a pigeon stretch. You can either, depending on how you're feeling, you might feel a bit stiff through the shoulders, so you can either keep quite proud and just open up through the shoulders, or if you're feeling like you need a deeper stretch through your glute, you can come down a little bit further. Good, just depending on which part of the body or area you need to stretch. And then we're going to switch sides, so your right knee can go back, and then your left leg is going to sweep around in front. Good. And again, shoulders like to just lift up, just try and keep them away from the ears, and just feel that nice stretch through the glute, through the front of the right hip. And then you can always come a little bit lower. Good. And then finally, we're going to come so that we're on our knees. We're going to do something a little bit different, which you might not have done before. And I want you to tuck your toes under, and I want you to sit on your heels. Okay? So what we're doing, we're spreading our toes, and we're opening up our feet. In our feet, we hold a lot of fascia. So if we can release fascia, is that quite painful straight away? Yeah. So do that, okay? Then I want you to put your fingers, and I want you to turn them around to face your knees. And I want you to sit back towards your heels, and I want you to open up the front of your wrists. So again, you've got lots of fascia through your wrists. And by doing this, it's quite painful. It's quite a good test, but it really helps release the fascia throughout the whole body. Okay, now release the wrist, come back and sit on your heels. Okay, I'm going to try and do a 20-second test with you. Is it hurting quite a lot? Yeah. Okay, just breathe through it. Good. Can you sit even deeper into your heels? Okay, we're going to count down for 10, 9, you got this. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. Good. And again, your wrists. Again, just sit back. Oh, really think about you stretching the front of your wrists, the front of your forearms. It looks like such a small move, but it's quite painful. Good, and then finally, again, now I want you to really stretch out your toes, make your toes really long and wide, and sit on your heels. Last. Okay, so you can do it for 10 seconds more. And then your feet are gonna feel amazing after this. You will, you'll feel so released. Good. Do it for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, come forward. Good, come and stand up for a moment. Good, just take one moment. We're just gonna rebalance the body. So just stand on your feet, all 10 toes reaching forward. Just come up onto the balls of the feet. Good, and then just place your heels down. Let's just do this 3 times. So come onto the balls of the feet. Place your heels down. Last time. And heels down. Good. We're done.
Yeah.
So there you go, loads of great stuff in there. You've got a warm-up, a main fitness session, and a cool-down as well. It's free, you don't have to pay anything, but just 18 minutes of your day, 100 hours throughout the year. All we're trying to do is get better and better cricket players and better athletes in general. So go give it a go, let me know how you get on.